back to another episode of emaTechTalk. We've got Horan and Matt Voigt here. And today we're going to go over the advanced features of Emma. One of them being the Emma Management Interface, or Emma Link Management Interface. And we're going to go over some of the deeper dive into each one of those feature sets. So Matt, go ahead and take it away.
All right, Sean. Thanks for that awesome introduction. So as Sean mentioned, because Emma's a smart embedded modem, it has the Emma Link management interface. And two of the features that I'd like to cover in more detail today during this session are the board ID feature and the OptConnect glimpse feature. And so the first thing I'd like to do is show you the hardware setup that we're dealing with. So let's take a look right over here. As you can see, we've got the Emma modem sitting on top of an assembly here, and what it's actually connected to is our brand new mini PCIe adapter card. And because I didn't want to try and squeeze this into my laptop, I've purchased an off-the-shelf USB to mini PCIe, again another adapter, which allows me to plug it directly into my computer via USB cable. And so this Emma is sitting here, it's running. You can see the power LEDs on over there. This LED indicates that it's communicating and the interfaces are ready. And then they've got the antennas kind of hanging off the side. And so let's take a look at a bit of documentation before we get started here. And so the Emma Link interface is expressed in our Emma Link AT command manual in very great detail. And so I've navigated down under the AT commands section to the board ID command. And so basically what it says here is this is a set command to specify the board ID. So what does that mean? If you go to Summit, which is our online portal, you can see there's a field for board ID. And so this allows the host system, or the board that Emma's plugged into. In this case, it's just connected to my computer, so really the host is my computer. I have a way through the AT commands to identify that host using this syntax here. And so the AT command is basically AT plus OCBID equals the string that you want to be transmitted up to the Summit portal. And so we'll go ahead and we'll demonstrate that. And so over here, what I have shown is actually the serial connection from my computer through the mini PCIe adapter card into the Emma Link channel. And the Emma Link, from an electrical hardware standpoint, is just basic UART. And so the mini PCIe card exposes that UART as a USB virtual COM port. And so I'm able to gain access to it over here. And so if I type AT, I'm communicating directly over the Emma Link interface, and the AT command is basically, a way to verify that the communication is there. And so just like the documentation said, we're going to type AT plus OC board ID equals the string that we want, and that will give us an identifier for this laptop. So I'll do that now, and we'll just do Matt's laptop here. And then we'll hit enter, and as you can see, we get the OK from Emma, meaning that the command was accepted. And so let's go back to the Summit dashboard and see what happens. So this page is not dynamically refreshed, so we need to refresh that on its own. And now we can see that the string populated right here into the Summit dashboard. And so this is a very simple but powerful feature, because you may want to identify your system by something other than the serial number that's already up here. You may have your own unique identifiers in the case of the mini PCIe deployment in a retrofit system, and now you can use the Emma Link interface and this AT command to get that up in the cloud, and then you can actually search for it in the list. If we go to the online stuff here, you will see it listed here. It's now in its own column. You can export that information and have another way to query data based on your own unique identifier. So that pretty much sums up the board ID feature. And so now what I'd like to talk about is the glimpse feature, which can also be accessed over the emaLink interface. So let's go back to the documentation now, and let's navigate down to the glimpse section. And so if we read here what glimpse is, it's basically a powerful feature that allows the local host system, which again in this case is my laptop, to inquire over the emaLink interface about Emma's management and monitoring activities. And so if we go down here to the actual syntax of the AT command, we can see that you can present this command in group fashion, meaning if I just do AT plus OC glimpse and then glimpse 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, I can get the various information relevant to that group, or I can just do AT plus OC glimpse as a whole and get all of it at once. And so some of the things that are given to you relative to Emma are its uptime, the current firmware it's running, serial number, model. If we go to the second group, we've got primary carrier, active firmware, registration status, and so on and so forth. And we'll discuss those a little bit in depth as I'm going through them. So again, we're using the same piece of hardware, which is, the Emma connected on the mini PCIe to my computer via USB. And so let's go back to here, and we will pull up the emaLink interface, which again is expressed as a virtual COM port over USB. And let's just make sure we're online again. So we do the AT, we got the OK, so we're good to go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to type AT plus OC glimpse. And so I'm grabbing all of the information at once. And in an embedded environment or whatever your host system is, you probably wouldn't do that because it is a lot of string data. But for this demonstration, I'm just going to show it because it's easy to do and I'm working on the computer. So we can see here the current uptime, and that's expressed in milliseconds. Or I'm sorry, that's expressed in seconds. We've got the firmware version that's running here. We've got the serial number and the model number. Down below, we've got the primary carrier, the active carrier, both AT&T in this case. The firmware that the module, the underlying cellular module, is running. We can see that we're registered on the home network. Failover is disabled, and the technology is E/UTRAN, which is 4G LTE. And so if we go to the third group, let's navigate back to our documentation. The third group is cell ID, MCC, MNC, TAC, and these are all cellular tower location values. And so we're able to gain the cellular tower location for any purpose that the host needs. The fourth group is relevant to the signal analytics, and this is very powerful because what we've done here in the first parameter is we've actually quantified a signal quality value. So we're looking at all of the following values, and we're making a calculation on that, and we give that to the host so that they don't have to do that. I mean, the host system can do that if it decides to do, but it's just extra code now. You don't really have to do it. You can just use the signal quality value. And then the last one is the connection status. And so in this case, we're connected to our services. And so the last thing I'd like to show is we can break these down, and we can do OC glimpse 3, for example, and just get the cellular tower location, and so on and so forth. And we can just go through these and retrieve them as requested. So we don't have to grab that entire large string of data. And so, that summarizes the glimpse feature. It's a powerful but simple feature, again, that allows you to pull management information into your host application. And so with that, I'll pass it back to Sean, and he can summarize what we've talked about here.
Well, thanks, Matt. So as you can see, as we go through these emaTechTalk videos, we're showing that Emma is more than hardware. We are showing you real-life examples of the emaLink smarts, the Emma Smart features that it provides, including the emaLink management interface. Can you imagine building this from scratch? It's all available, ready for you to use. We'll look at some additional feature sets as well in the following videos, but Today, this is it. Thanks for joining.
See you guys. Take care.